very tough football game, mentally, physically, this past weekend against Eastern Illinois. Very good opponent. They're 3-0 now in our league, and they showed why they are 3-0. We got after them early, and they withstood our best shot, and then came back and kind of got themselves under control, made a quarterback change, and I thought Bud, kid that came in, did a really nice job of keeping us on our toes and had some really nice throws down the field that we didn't cover. And but I am glad the resiliency of our kids to fight back and give ourselves a chance to have a field goal at the end to win the game. Don't blame Nick at all. I think he's still one of the best kickers in the country, and we have all the confidence in the world moving forward. If we need another one, he'll make it. I mean, he made unbelievable kicks into the wind. Prior to that one, did a nice job punting the football for us and changing the field. And so, we got back to work this morning, and our kids had a great practice. And like always, we're grinding on our process for this week for Southeast Missouri, which is a really good football team. Big physical football team, and we're going to have our hands full just to be able to get the game into the fourth quarter and be able to compete. And so this week we're just challenging our guys. If we're going to talk about the process and do the process, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 3, whatever it is, when we're undefeated playing for the national championship, if it's cool to talk about the process then, we've got to talk about the process now. We have to respect the process, trust the process, and everything will take care of itself.
Questions? So, you talked a little bit about it after the game last week, but this is the first time you've been able to see your team with a lead. Kind of give us a little evaluation of what you saw when your team was up.
It was good. I told them Friday night before the game, like, don't be surprised if you go out and jump to a lead, because Eastern Illinois is this year, last year, and then since we've been in the league watching them, they don't start fast. They get behind at times, but then they always find a way, like they've done against us 2 years in a row, to come back and win the game or be in the game. And so I was like, don't be surprised you're going to get a lead, or you're going to have the courage to try to finish it out. And so we jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and our kids, you could see they had created some energy on the sideline, and I think it wasn't anything that they couldn't handle. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, we got a lead, what are we going to do? It didn't change anything from that standpoint, but it was good to have the comfort of having a lead. Was pretty cool, and it freed them up. But in the end, we didn't finish it off. And any time that you give up 5 big plays for over 100 yards, you only give up 13 first downs in the game, and 5 plays for over 100 yards. That's tough. You don't give yourself much of a chance to win, and then you're having to settle for field goals, penalties. We only had 4 penalties, but of the 4 penalties, 2 were on third down. 1 was on a nice kick return, and 1 was on defense when it was going to be 2nd and 8 from the 22. It ended up being 1st and 10 on the 36. So we, unsportsmanlike penalty. So we got a lot to learn from the tape moving forward, and our guys are committed to doing it.
Can you delve a little bit further into, after they made the quarterback change and the game kind of shifted a little bit? Was it you guys hadn't seen him? Was it you were still in run, stop, heavy defense? Delve a little bit more into that.
No, I think, we weren't planning on seeing him, but they really did the same stuff. He's a little bit more of an accomplished, savvy thrower than number 1 was. But, again, our defense, held him, made him punt. They really couldn't run the ball effectively on us. It's just they gave up, I think, 4 plays when that kid was in there. I mean, he threw a sail route for a touchdown on third down, which we play sail routes from day one. We just let the guy run by us. He hits 2 shots. He hits a back out of the backfield. We miss a tackle. We trip and fall. Little things like that are self-inflicted. I mean, now the kid made great plays. I mean, it's not like they didn't do anything. They did a nice job executing. It's not easy to even on air to execute the throws and catches. But our guys really, really, really didn't help themselves with just how we played it.
Looking at SEMO, they've had kind of a similar year to you guys so far with a lot of big competition and losses early. Kind of talk about their season a little bit. You talked about the parity in the league earlier.
Yeah, I think they're a really good team. I think they came here last year and they should have won the game. There's no way we should have won the game, but Mike Birdsong and Elliot Norman made 2 plays in that game that allowed us to win it. And I'm sure they've had us circled for a year, knowing that 1 got away from them last year. They're an older team. They've got a really good quarterback that's played a lot of football. I think I've watched for 2 seasons of him now. yesterday I watched every game from the last 2 years. I just like watching him play because he's a pro-style quarterback. He has a lot. Offensively, he's checking from run to pass, pass to run to run. He's getting them in and out, changing the protections. His footwork from last year to this year is totally different. It's really he's done a really nice job of preparing for his senior season. So he's a really good player. He knows exactly where to go with the ball. He's like a coach on the field. He directs traffic. So he's going to give our guys a headache because if we line up in certain looks, he's going to know how to take advantage of it. He's not going to have to look to the sideline, let the coaches tell him what to do. He's going to be able to do it himself fast. And so our guys have got to make sure that we're deep as the deepest, wide as the widest, not let anything get behind us. Because if we keep everything in front of us in the last 3 weeks, we've been pretty good. It's just when we just take our eyes and get our eyes in the wrong place and let people run by us, that's where our major issues have been on defense.
Do you have a guy on the defense who's kind of like the opposite of that? Like he would be directing traffic for you guys?
Oh, yeah, Derek Moore and Deontay Wilson, those are the guys that are our quarterbacks that, make sure that we're supposed to be lining up in the right places and our adjustments are taking place and our calls are being made. Those are our guys that would be considered the quarterbacks on the defensive side. But I don't know if we have anything as like this kid. And this kid is he just, because I like to mess around and play scout team quarterback, and he looks like if I could throw the ball at all, like he looks like a coach out there just kind of looking around. He sees exactly where he needs to attack. He gets them in and out real smooth. And so I enjoy watching him play. I'm not going to enjoy watching him play Saturday, but he's a good player.
You mentioned Hoskett and his experience. How do you get the young guys on the defense to be able to counter that?
They just have to be very, very sound in their alignments, and that we can't give away anything. And I was talking to our safeties today, like your eyes, man. I'm sitting here playing scout team quarterback. I'm looking at your eyes. I can see everything. So just really doing a nice job of making everything look the same, making sure our eye discipline pre-snap, knowing that they don't think the quarterback's looking at your eyes. Certain people, you're telling them everything, and so we got to do a nice job of just not confusing him with multiple looks. But everything has got to look the same, and we can't give him any clues because if we do, he'll make you pay quickly.
You mentioned yesterday about big plays and OVC competition, how that has really kind of set the tone for the opponents this season. How can you kind of rein the defense in and try to keep them focused on avoiding giving up those plays?
We just have to talk about it, and we're not going to change the way that we play. You look at it. Eastern Kentucky, 11 first downs. They had to punt 9 times, but we gave up 5 big plays. Eastern Illinois, 13 first downs. Gave up over 100 yards in 5 plays. Jacksonville State, we gave up over 200 yards in 9 plays. So I love the way that we're playing. Now we have to take a step further and eliminate them. If you give up a big play, that's going to happen. But it can't be a big play for a touchdown, and it can't be more than 3 big plays, or you aren't going to have a chance to win the game. So I love our defense is playing great. If you just watch cut-ups, you're like, man, how do you get a yard against these guys? But then you watch the cut-up of big plays, you're like, there's 17 big plays in 3 games for over 540 yards and 5 touchdowns, and 3 of them have come on 3rd down, and 1 of them come on 2nd and 29. And the run, the big play the kid had last week, we had the kid in the backfield for a lost yardage run. And we lose contain, and he comes out and goes for 70, and thank goodness AJ makes a great play and runs him down. But just little things like that, if we could just control the big plays, we've got a chance to compete in the 4th quarter for the win.
You've still been talking about, the toxic differential like you talked about.
Yep,
That's what's
it's
called,
toxic
right?
differential, which is turnovers and big plays.
About that all season, so.
And we're at minus 13, which if you're at minus 13, you have no shot. Now, a lot of that, the first 3 weeks was just a train wreck of turnovers for us, and we've gotten a little bit better. And knock on wood at that, of taking care of the football and creating turnovers, but the big plays are just absolutely destroying us right now.
Homecoming at Southeast Missouri, what's the mindset as the visiting team going into that situation?
I didn't even know that. It's like we don't even talk about that. That's one of those things that you can maybe, if it's a rivalry or something, you could go, we're the homecoming. Like, who cares? They got to pick a game. They probably looked at the schedule and said, that's kind of in the middle. That's a home game. Cool. Let's see if we can get some people there. I don't think they look at it and say, well, we're going to beat that team. Let's put them at homecoming.
It is another week that you're coming up on someone that is coming off of their bye week, though. Does that play any role?
Oh, of course. And if you look at our schedule the last couple of years and moving forward, we're trying to get that fixed. It's crazy. Like I think there's six or seven last season that had an open week before they played us, and I think 5 or 6 this season had an open week before they played us.
Wow. That's
So
ridiculous.
it's tough, but it's okay. I mean, it's not going to change anything. Go out there and play ball and use it against them. Maybe they're rusty from sitting out a week. Who knows?
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.